So we're lying on our backs and placing one hand over the heart and one hand over the belly, and just really to help you tune in more to the sense of the body. And in doing so, it helps you disconnect a little bit from the busy outer world, which obviously is very much grabbing our attention all the time. And, you know, no doubt you've all been at work and very, very, very much stimulated by demands of work. So having the hands on the body, just reinforcing that that's going to be our focus now, and taking your thoughts away, directing them away from the outer world. And for now, we're just sensing the body breathing. Not even your body, just body breathing. You don't even have to be a participant. All you need to do now is just noticing. And it may be that you know, if you've had a bit of a rush to get here, that there's not a lot of sensation at this moment. The breath's quite shallow, so that's okay. We do want to encourage nasal breathing, so through the nose, unless you've got a cold or hay fever. And without forcing it, we want to encourage a deep breath. So that's into the lower body, into the belly, the lower ribs. If that's not happening right now, that's okay. It's just enough to notice at this moment, just enough to notice. And just as well, be aware if there is a part of your body holding tension, if there's a part of your body demanding your attention, or maybe it could be, you know, there's the persistent thought. It could be a mind, demands of the mind, you know, something you should have done or haven't done or need to do. Or so if that is happening, just be aware of that, but try not to engage with it. It's normal that the mind wanders a bit. And it's our practice now to sort of not get too hung up on that. So I'm going to take another couple of breaths like this. Deep, easy breaths. No forcing. Just being absorbed in that. Whatever it is that's happening in the body. Whether it's a shallow breath or a deep breath. So if you're going to take the hands up overhead, and if your knees are happy as they are with the soles of the feet pressed together, then keep them there. Obviously, if that feels a bit too much, then you'll feel free to adjust it. Maybe bring the knees up. I'm aware that is quite strong for knees. So we're gonna just reach our hands up and away towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands, press the palms up. And reach so that you almost feel the arms lifting out of the sockets. And then a little bit of extra pressure that happens at the back of the body, so into the sort of back of the heart between the shoulder blades. And then you can kind of, without bending the arms, drop the arms back into their sockets and then reach them away again. So a few of those up and down movements. And then very smoothly, slowly, take your arms behind you towards the floor. And again, yeah, we're going to reach with the arms so you feel almost that the arms are pulling out of the sockets. And then plug the arms back into the sockets. And do that a few times, reaching away and then kind of keeping the straight arm, but plugging the arm back in. So a couple of times. And then once you've done that, take the interlaced hands and bring them underneath the head. So we're supporting the head. You can kind of bring your thumbs and press them gently into the top of the neck and around the back of the neck and the sides of the neck. Opening the armpits and press a little with your elbows out to the side. As though you're going to press your elbows to the walls either side. And then relax that movement. So then you can do it again a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. So again, it's a sort of a little bit of sense of the arms being pulled out. And then as you relax that movement, the arms can kind of relax back into the sockets. So we're going to bring the knees up so that they come together and the soles of the feet stay together. On the floor, stay on the floor, and the feet together, knees together. And we're just going to release our hands and pick up the knees and hug the knees in. And we will just do a little bit of rolling around at this point. So we're massaging the spine a little bit. That could be a very minimal movement or quite a big movement. And make it feel really, really good for your body. You know, do it in the way that is optimum for your body today. At the end of the week, no doubt it's been a busy week, so that you feel really comfortable and nice. And then you can just hug the knees in and come to sort of stillness. And this time, well, not quite stillness because we're just rocking from side to side a little. So I wanted to do sort of a focus on the heart and the hips as well, actually. But the heart in Chinese medicine, and it is very much connected with fire. And fire is the season of summer. Summer is linked with fire element in that philosophy. And so, yeah, this is sort of very, very seasonally appropriate to look at the heart. So, sorry, I'm just having a mental block about what I was going to tell you there. Yeah, so one of the things when you do heart openings is that it can sometimes weaken your lower back if you don't really strengthen your core. So I want to do a little bit of core work to prepare you for the heart opening stuff. So bring your hands by your hips, press down quite firmly to the floor with your hands. And then we're going to lift the knees up in towards the belly, and you'll feel your coccyx lift, your tailbone lift off the floor. And you can kind of pause there for a moment, feel that scrunching up feeling in the abdominals. And then we're going to very smoothly drop the feet, tap the toes against the floor, and then come up again. So we're going to do a lot of these. And the hands can help you. Just coming up and down. Really start to engage, create sort of a powerful feeling around the belly area. And the knees, the thighs can kind of squeeze in as you lift up. You can really kind of squeeze them in, as though you're massaging your abdominal area with your thighs. So we'll do a few of these. So if it feels quite easy, you can maybe speed it up a little bit, although it's not necessarily better to do that. Find a rhythm that feels good anyway for you. And if it's really easy, you could perhaps lift a little higher or progressively come higher. Oh, I haven't done this for a while. Definitely noticing that I haven't done this for a while. So then just a couple more of those, and then you can just drop your feet back to the floor, let the knees drop in, bring your hands back onto the belly and onto the heart. So there is that kind of relationship between the two, and we need to strengthen the belly area to get that sort of opening in the heart. So we'll pick up our feet again. This time they're coming all the way towards the ceiling. The legs can be straight, but you can also bend the legs if you feel that straight legs is too much. Hands are going to come by your hips, and we're lifting up again the coccyx, but this time it's slightly different because the legs are straight. Same sort of level of effort. So we're holding, and maybe you can lift your head and shoulders as well. So we'll do a few of these up and down. Find a rhythm that works for you. If it's easy, then perhaps just hold it for longer and lift a little higher. And it's a sense of that fire quality that is associated with the heart, with the summer. That's the feeling we're generating in the belly, a sense of fire in the belly. And then come down, drop your feet down, let your knees drop in so they press together, and one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Relax everything. So I want you to just do breath of fire, which I've done with you before. You stay lying down. I'm coming to the camera just so that I can watch you, and maybe you can see me if you need to more easily. So the hands can come both onto the belly, and the hands are there just to remind us to press those abdominal muscles in, to force out the exhale. So forcing isn't a word we use very often in yoga, but on this occasion, I think it is appropriate. So it is a very strong, exaggerated exhale, and it creates that sense of almost like like a little steam train or something like that. The inhale is involuntary, so you don't have to think about that. That's just going to occur naturally. The exhale, we're really sort of forcing it. So obviously that all has to be taken with a pinch of salt. I don't want you to be, you know, really overstraining, but it's definitely more powerful than any other breath that I can think of. So you're breathing in through the nose, and then so there's lots of repetitions until you run out of steam. So, but let's just say we do 15. I think you can all cope with that. So if you can't, don't worry, you know, just do what you can. So we'll do 3 rounds of this, but let's start with the first round. Hands on the belly, deep breath in. And then completely relax when we finish that little round. And then we'll take another round. So again, 1 breath in, big breath in. And relax the breath, relax the hands, relax the belly. And we'll do 1 more when you're ready. So again, sort of 10, 15 repetitions or more if you feel like you can do more. Deep breath in. And then let's just pause here. We are completely relaxing the body. If you want to flop your knees in a little bit more, so there's less effort holding you up, then do that. And I don't know about you, but I'm really feeling this in my belly because I haven't done this for a while, so remind me I should do it more often. So, you know, allow the belly to relax completely. And then we're going to roll over onto our sides, and we're going to come up into in an all fours position. We'll do a little bit of cat-cow. So the focus is going to be on the back of the heart and the belly as well, because there is that relationship. Like there is, of course, the whole body is connected. It's but we're going to focus on that connection. So press into the hands, press into the feet. We're rounding the back. We really want to feel a nice sort of sense of opening around the back of the heart. So breathe into the back of the heart. Press into the feet and lift the knees. And we want we want to engage those abdominal muscles. So a contraction, just as we did in these earlier exercises, contraction, but keep rounding the back. Head drops, chin towards the chest. And then come down, come to neutral, relax everything, relax the belly, jaw. And then we're going to work into a little baby back arch. So the thighs press together, the glutes press together, and we're lifting the head and chest. And you want to have a sense of the broadening across the collarbone. So there is a bit of tone on the belly, but not to the degree that we had in cat. It's more engagement of the spinal muscles. And it's a little baby back arch, so I hope you've got a feeling of movement in the upper spine, not just the lower back. You kind of perhaps adjust what you're doing a little bit to create some feeling of opening in the upper back. And then relax, come to a neutral position. And we'll go back into cat. So real strong abdominal work around the back. Press the floor away, chin to chest. Maybe pick up your feet. Sorry, pick up your knees. Press the front of the foot into the floor. Feel that burning feeling in there. Or for me, I'm feeling it in the lower belly. And then come down, knees down. We're going to drop the chest, so the bum over the hips. Sorry, bum over the knees. Drop smoothly your chest to the floor, and adjust the hands as you need. You can begin with straight arms and then maybe take the elbows wide. They're both good options. And it's the well, of course, we want to work the whole back, but the lower back tends to naturally curve anyway. So really, let's really see if we can make something happen in the upper back. Perhaps, you know, slightly adjusting how you're holding this to generate a little bit of opening in that space between the shoulder blades at the back of the heart. It could be that you move your hips a little bit. That's one thing you can do. Or maybe just press lower with your chest. And now we're going to come forward, all the way forward, onto our bellies. And we're going to have our elbows underneath our shoulders. But we're going to interlace the hands. Tuck the toes under. Actually, no, let's stay on the front of the feet. Sorry, that was... we're going to lift up our hips. You can have a sense of the thighs pressing towards each other. Lift the hips up. Really engage the abdominal muscles. And then slowly lower the belly, the hips towards the floor and lift the chest. So we're not coming up necessarily very high. It could be quite a small movement. Press down with your hands and forearms and elbows and then pull them back towards you so you can stretch your chest forward. And then take your gaze all the way to the right. Look back at your heel if you can. Don't worry if you can't. I don't know, depends how much your neck is suffering from a week sitting at a desk. You can look back at the heel, and if you can look back at the heel, then maybe look at the further heel, the heel further away, and then go the other way. Do a few of those. And then come all the way down with your head. Rest your forehead on the floor. And interlace your hands behind you. And you're going to really press your hands together. And you're going to press the knuckles back towards the feet. And as you do that, I'm hoping you're going to feel the shoulder blades moving together. And then you can kind of almost massage the back of the heart with that movement. And if that all feels okay and you can straighten the arms, you might want to lift the arms, because that can feel really good. But I would suggest that you only do that once you've got the arms straight first. Better to concentrate on straight arms and then lift the arms. And then only then you could lift the head. That's just an extra. If you want to, lifting the head, look forward. And then you're going to flop everything back to the floor completely. Drop everything. Bring your hands to the lower ribs. Press down through every joint in the hand. Spread the fingers. Lift the top, the front of the shoulders away from the floor. Your head's going to stay down for now. And then we're going to come up to an upward dog. And then from here back to child pose. And just for a moment, pausing at child pose, and then up to downward dog. Pick up your right foot and very swiftly step it forward between the hands. We're going to come all the way up into a high lunge and interlace the hands behind us, just as we did when we were lying down. So work a little bit more on the sort of standing back arch. So I'm going to engage the hands very firmly, press down, and they can slide down the back of the leg if you want. So now remember, we really need to have strong belly here. So before you even think about sort of lifting the chest, feel that fiery sensation in the belly, or hopefully that's. Oh, back heels lifted, by the way, if I didn't say that before. And then when you feel, if you feel comfortable, you can then really lift the chest and slide the hands back down the legs. So that's a little baby back arch again. And you definitely don't want to accept any pinching in the lower back. So if you're finding that's happening, then you're better to just come up a little bit, rather than, sort of come forward a bit, rather than pinch the lower back. But another solution could be to squeeze the buttocks in and more lift higher, so that if you pinch the lower back, it's because there's compression. The more you can lift up it through the waist, the less risk of compression. So just bear that in mind. And then we're going to release the hands all the way down. We're going to take another downward dog. Drop the head. Let's reconnect with the breath. So bend the right knee, breathe in. Bend the left knee, breathe out. Bend the right knee, breathe in. Bend the left knee, breathe out. Right knee, breathe in. Left knee, breathe out. Then pick up the left foot. And swiftly stepping it forward, back heel stays up, coming all the way up, and we're once again interlacing the hands. I forgot to say this, but let's try and use the other thumb. And if you're not quite sure which thumb you're using, then just swap thumbs so the other one's on top. Because we'll have we have our habits, don't we, that we default to a particular thumb on top. So if you swap the thumb, it's quite likely that you'll be doing the other side. So we're going to really firmly press down through the hands, and you could even sort of slide down the leg a little if you wanted. Get a good strong tone on the belly, and again that sense of lifting. That's the thing with back arches. People don't always realise that there's a real lifting up, and so sucking in as well a little bit to get that lifting up from the bottom of the breastbone. So imagine point up from the bottom of the breastbone, so that you lose any compression, you lose any pinching feeling. Shoulders back and down. Someone was describing shoulders as like a little waterfall energetically that comes up and down the back. So I don't know if that image works for you. You can hold that image. I don't know if I necessarily think of shoulders like waterfalls, but I get the point as energetically anyway. So breathing, and then release your hands, This time we're going to step forward with the back foot, fold down into a forward bend. And come all the way up to standing. And I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me. And actually, it's quite a good idea to take the chair at this point. Although it's not a back arch we're doing, but it's still quite handy to have a chair. So we're doing a balancing pose. I think some of you, if you were here on Monday, did it with me then, so you'll be familiar with it already. So we're going to lift the heel I've got my chair on my left side, by the way, so we're going to make the right leg really, really solid. And we're going to aim to keep that leg straight. Lift the heel of the left leg and turn the knees out. The knee out, sorry. And then pick up the knee. And we can hold that knee for a moment. And then we're going to place the foot on the chair. So here we go. So this is like a kneeling warrior. Sorry, not. It's a version of warrior 2. So the hip bones point forward, and the knee points the other way. And you're gonna feel it on the inside thigh. So just let's pause for a moment, feel that opening on the inside thigh. Same kind of stretch as when we have the soles of the feet together as we started. So we're going to bring the left hand into the inside of the leg, or the left arm into the inside of the leg. We're going to press in, and that leg's going to press back. So a little bit of dynamic interaction between the arm and the leg. Press in, press back. And then just take the hand to the outside of the leg, so we're activating the outer thigh, like we like to do. And then lift the heel of that left foot, and we're bringing our hand gently onto the knee, and we can pick it up, come into a balance here. But you've got the chair there if you're feeling tired. Be trying to be kind to you. Wasn't so kind to people on Monday night. So you've got the chair there. So you've got the option of just resting your tiptoes on the chair, and you can kind of move in and out of that. So you've got a bit more support. So you can perhaps hold it a bit longer. Try and keep the right leg really solid. It will want to bend a little. It's okay if you do bend it, but we're trying to make it strong. So then bring the knee back to centre. We're going to swap. Hold the knee with the other hand. I'm just going to do a little turn so you can see me. And then we're twisting. We're twisting the left hand back behind us. So we're turning. So for this, you'll need your strong abdominal muscles as well. So you're kind of lifting up through the waist, like we do when we do the back arch. Lifting up, turning. So very good. Quite tough, isn't it? Then that hand that's behind you, just bring it back, both knees together. We're just going to lift it up a little higher. And then rest your foot back to the floor and pause here. While you're pausing, I will show you what you can do we're going to do the other side, and I'll just quickly show you what the bigger version of the pose is if you wanted to do it. So the bigger version is we would, as I'm showing, we have the bent leg, but you could also reach for either the back of the knee or the big toe and extend like this. So that's the stronger version. We don't have to do that today, but I'll give you the option of doing it later if you want to. So let's just swap to the other side. So we're going to make the left leg very solid. And that's the one thing that is kind of not non-negotiable, but you know, that's really the more important thing. So how straight the leg is matters less on the lifted leg, but it matters more on the standing leg. We lift the right foot, heel. You can turn the knee out a little. And then we're going to bring that foot onto the chair. And immediately we've got the opportunity to really stretch out that inside thigh. So we're going to bring the inside of the hand to the inside of the leg. And press the knee away gently, or the thigh away, and the leg presses back. A few of those, pressing in, pressing away. And then take that hand to the outer thigh. And again, press in, press away. Bring the hand onto the knee. You can lift the heel. So if you're feeling like you don't want to do the full balance, maybe your knees aren't quite up to it, you can just lift the heel and sort of balance a little bit on the tiptoes. But otherwise, lift the whole leg. And you've got the option. You've got the chair there, so you can kind of come up and down if you want. Try and make the left leg really strong, solid. And then bring the knee to centre. Take hold of the knee with the other hand. I'll just show you on the side. And then we're turning back with the right hand. And even in this pose, you can kind of really emphasize opening in the chest by pressing the shoulder blade on the right side in towards the chest. So there's more opening around the pecs. And then we're bringing the hands to the knees, hugging a little, maybe more with the knee. And then slowly come down with the foot. And how convenient, we've got the chair there, we can actually come and sit on the chair. And I'll just show you a lovely way to do back arches from a chair. So there's lots of ways we can use the chair. So the simplest is just to sit on the chair, bring your hands behind you a little bit, and it's good to be able to really let the weight come into the hands. So allow your weight to drop back into the hands, and you can then really roll the shoulders back and down. And lift the chest. So again, tension to the belly, tone the belly, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So as you do that, you're almost massaging the back of the heart. And then you can lift your bum a little off the chair and maybe move it forward towards your heels. And if you're doing that, a very strong downward pressure into the arms, maybe even dropping the head back. I'm very much focused on the chest, heart, and the back of the heart as well. Can you sense a little bit of movement? Take time to breathe. And then slowly come down. And just pause for a moment here. You can do that again. I'll show you something a little bit stronger. You don't have to go for the stronger option, but you might enjoy it. So turn the belly, lift the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other. Very, very exaggerated shape here. The feet should be stable, so just make sure they're not too close, not too wide, not too far away either. You don't want them too far away. Lift your bum, and then the bum moves over towards the heels again. And if you wanted to, here you could drop your bum towards the floor, and then come up from there. And that's more the traditional way we come into a back arch, in that sort of shape on the floor. You can do that. Quite powerful in the arms. The head can drop back if you're comfortable, if your neck is comfortable with that. One more of those if you're up for it, or if you've had enough, then just come and rest on your chair. Sit down and bum down on your chair. So we'll take a forward bend when you've had enough. So we're just sitting on the chair. We're going to rest our elbows on the knees, and the knees can be quite wide. And so back arches. Ideally, you're not straining the lower back. I mean, that's what I don't want to happen. But there's always some potential for that. So forward bend's nice because you get to, if there's any compression in a forward bend, you can kind of let it relax it a bit. You can sway a little from left to right. Breathe into the back of the heart. You can also press down a little with your tailbone back towards the chair, which hopefully should feel good. Feeling more lengthening in the lower back. And then we're going to come up. We'll come back up to standing so that we've got the chair on the right side. And we're going to lift the right heel. We're going to lift the knee, make that left leg really solid and turn so that the foot comes onto the chair. And this is when you get to choose if you want to just have a go at that lifting that we did a minute ago, where we're just lifting the heel and not necessarily coming up very high, then go for that. If you feel like you'd actually like to try that slightly stronger option, you can have the hand behind the leg and then maybe straighten the leg or hold the foot. Or on Monday we used a belt, and I forgot to tell you about that today, but if you had a belt nearby, you could use that. So the belt would go just around the ball of the foot. But ideally here, we're making the left leg very, very straight. And we're not so bothered about how straight the flying leg is. So it's normal for the flying leg to have a little bend. Very good. It's hard, this. It's definitely one of the more difficult balances. And then let's just bring the foot down, rest it for a moment on the chair. Bring your hands back to your hips, bring the knee back to center, and slowly bring the foot down. And then we'll just move to the other side. So just pausing here before we rush ahead. Lift lift the left heel, make that right leg solid. And let the knee float up. We can hold the knee and guide it out to the side. So then you get to choose how you work this one, either lifting the knee, just as we did earlier, or maybe holding the back of the knee is quite good, or reaching for the big toe. Make that right leg solid and lifting the heart as well. So we sometimes just sort of collapse a little bit in the upper body when we're doing this. So what I do anyway. Keep breathing. Fantastic. I can't see you, Karen, but Justine and Simon looks really good. Karen, you're frozen, that's why I can't comment on you. But come down, rest the leg on the chair for a moment. So you get to stretch out those muscles on the inside thigh. And then bring the foot down. So we're still using the chair. We're going to, we're just going to come and sit in front of the chair. And depending on what's going on with your shoulders, hands could come onto the seat of the chair, or maybe you'll be more comfortable with the hands lower, holding the legs of the chair instead, or holding, if you've got a little middle bar, I've got a little middle bar, you could just hold the middle bar of the chair. Ideally, if you're holding the chair, it's the palms facing out, because that's going to open your shoulders better. But not everyone will be comfortable with that. So, but ideally holding the chair with palms like that, pressing away. So you choose. And the other thing is, you may find that you're in this sort of shape, that it's actually really hard to sit up. So if that's happening, shuffle forward a little bit with your bum, legs, and then hopefully that will give you more space to lift up. So we're really trying to lift and sit up. So the arms straight as possible. And just let's just pause here and breathe, and just take a little bit of time to open up those muscles. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together? And then release the hands, because it's quite strong. Rest the hands on the legs and just sink down, let everything kind of sink down. Let all the feeling surge through the arms, sort of like a power surge, isn't it, when you let the arms go? So we can work into camel in this pose. So camel, just move my thing a bit closer. So that's just more just chest opening, but there is a back arch that you can do here. So that's kneeling. So if you're feeling like kneeling's uncomfortable, make sure you're padding up a lot under the knees. And maybe you want to tuck the toes under if your knees don't feel like they want to take much weight, because then there's a bit more weight into the feet, less into the knees. So we're toning the belly a lot. Now I've got my hands on the chair because that for me feels quite good. But we're going to try and lean back a little bit into the hands while lifting the chest. The belly pulls in like a corset and up. So there's no compression in the lower back. And the tailbone, the lower back moves down. So there's a little kind of forward tilt of the pelvis. So the trick with this is to do it quite a few times and not hold it too long. The head can drop back, the thighs press forward, the hips press forward. and press down into the hands. So you're pushing the chair away with your hands. And then we're going to come down. So gently ease yourself back and sit on your heels. And yeah, have a proper rest. I hope that's camel pose or Ustrasana. Try it again. So if you felt like that was a bit too intense, another way to do it is to not come into it from kneeling, to come into it from sitting. So you could, if you felt like that was a bit much, you could just press yourself up and maybe just, you know, come that way rather than from an upright position down. Or I actually quite like just using one hand. So you've got one hand on the chair. In fact, shall we all do that? I feel like that I probably should have done that with you first. So let's start. I've got my right hand down. It doesn't matter too much. The hips move forward. The thighs move forward. The belly pulls up. To help you with that upward movement, lift the opposite arm, and you're turning. Somehow the turn, the twist, I think makes this a bit easier. Press into the feet. And keep pushing the chair away. Not too violently because you want it to still be there for you, but you can kind of move that arm, sort of make a little arc of movement with the arm. And then we'll go the other way, but maybe just take a little pause before we do the other side. So let the lower back muscles relax and soften. We don't want them going into spasm. I'm just going to move around so I can still do it and see you. Okay. So the other hand comes onto the chair. We're going to press ourselves up and forward. Tone the belly. Really let the arm like press into the chair, but the top of the arm, can you kind of almost dig it in towards the back of the heart? Visualize being hoisted from the bottom of the breastbone, and then we can lift that other arm. Hips move forward. Toes, feet press down, unless you're on the ball of the feet. Make a little arc of movement with, you're turning a little bit towards the left side. Make a little arc movement. Maybe the head will feel like it wants to drop back. So that's a camel pose, Ustrasana. And then come out. Let's not. I think the trick with these is to do them quite frequently, but not hold it too long. So come down, and we're really going to relax the lower back. You can let your belly be very relaxed too. So the belly is quite can be expanded and not contracted. So we're going to come onto all fours. I'm going to move my chair back. Press your knees together. And then we're going to take the right arm and weave it under the left. So we're coming into that thread the needle, it's called. So that right arm, weave it under the left, and really bring your head down. Rest fully the weight of your head, and lift the other arm. Maybe that arm can wrap around the waist. You could even It depends on how long your arms are, but the left arm could tuck into the top of the thigh. And then we'll come out, but we're going to come into child pose. So your bum can come back to your knees. Make it quite a soft child pose. And then enjoy this moment. We'll go to the other side when you're ready. So the left arm that you're going to weave under the right arm. Head completely resting on the floor, and press firmly that arm into the floor, the whole of the arm, from the shoulder down into the fingertips. Well, not quite the fingertips, but the nails of the fingers. And then lift the other arm. You can wrap around the waist into the top of the thigh. And then we're coming out. And take a child pose. And you'll be glad to know you get to have a rest in a minute. So we're going to come into sort of Shavasana resting pose. But what would be really nice if you had a very little lift for your chest. So it doesn't have to be like a big bolster or anything, just something to elevate it slightly. So because we're going to be focusing on the heart. So I like a rolled up blanket or something, just to lift the back of the heart. And it should feel soft, and yeah, that looks nice. That's what you've got there, Justine. You might want something under the head as well, just so there's that, because yeah, just to should feel good. That's the idea. So nothing that feels too challenging for the body. It's tending to be very restful. And make sure you're going to be warm enough, because this is our last pose. So you want to use an eye cushion or a bit of essential oil or blanket. Get what you need. And let's just get comfortable first. Something under the knees can be good, especially if you've injured your knees. A little bit of support, nurture for the knee. Why not? Those hard-working joints that have to put up with so much from all your sporting activities. So really taking this time to get comfortable. Don't be feel like you have to, skimp at the whatever it is you need. Do get the things that you need. And now we're going to turn our awareness away from the world, as we did at the beginning. So you can close your eyes if they're not already closed. Lower the gaze. And we're going to bring the focus to the breath. Back to the breath. So just being aware of the body breathing. And it's a technique to absorb you, so that you're not kind of being lured back into the world of the demands of the world, the outer world. So it's not that the breath is the better thing. You can focus on anything, really, but it's just available to everyone. So it's very easy tool to give people. And we're coming into stillness. And immediately, when we bring our focus, very attentive focus to the breath, that's kind of narrowing, in a sense, our vision, but zoning in so that we can zone out. That's the simplicity of the breath coming in and out through the nose. Relaxing the face, the jaw, throat. Shoulders. So move your attention now to the heart center, where we've done a lot of attention, had a lot of attention on that tonight, but now it's more in your mind's eye, a sense of that, the quality of that area, the front of the heart, the back of the heart. The sides of the heart, around the heart meridian comes into the armpit, so even sensing the feelings around the armpit. So we're going to do a little technique where we breathe in and have a sense of the breath. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to take a little pause, and we're going to have a sense of the breath gathering into what they call the midbrain, which is, you might say, around the third eye area. So you're breathing in through the nose, and then take a little pause and have a sense of almost like filling the midbrain with the vital, revitalizing breath. The pause is to allow that prana, chi, energy, vitality, life force to fill the midbrain. And then on the out breath, we're going to direct that energy down to the heart. So breathing out, have a sense of that vital energy moving, shifting to the heart space itself. And almost as though you're feeding the heart. So we're going to do continue this. So breathing in through the nose. Very easy breaths, not straining. Pausing for a moment to let that nurturing in-breath, the life force, gather around the midbrain, the zone where the third eye is, back of that area. And then on the out breath, so you're going to bathe the heart in that energy. directing it all towards the heart. And with each of these inhales, exhales, we're going to have a greater sense of lightness, peace, freedom around the heart. So we're really nurturing the heart here. So let's do that again. Breathing in through the nose, pausing. Just to let the vital force, almost like it's, you're kind of pumping up the body with this vital life force. And then directing it all towards the heart. So we're going to relax that technique. And then just do something a little bit different on the same sort of theme of nourishing, lightening the heart, or you might say lightening the fire of the heart. If you think of the heart as being connected with the fire meridian, and you might think of it as a little candle or a little flame. So we're breathing in, we're breathing in, and on that inhale, we're going to take white light in through the absorb it in through the third eye, into the midbrain. It's not, it's just make it very effortless. You're not having to think about this, just letting the white light flood the body through the midbrain on the inhale, and on the exhale, sending it down to the heart. Just do a few of those breaths. It's like you're soaking the brain in that white light through the third eye. And on the exhale, replenishing the heart. With that white light. No forcing here. No straining. It should feel just effortless and just lovely. And as you complete each cycle of breath, a greater sense of ease, greater sense of peace. Greater sense of vitality and peace. So you can relax that technique now. Just rest in the aftermath of what we've just done. So thinking or trying or doing, just bathing in that sensation. when you're ready, you can begin to bring some small movements into the hands. One little thing that I learned this week that I quite enjoyed that you could try is pressing just very lightly the thumbs to the forefinger, and then to the third finger, and then to the fourth finger, and then to the little finger. Just very subtle, minimal movements as a way of returning to the body. See that works for you. And then roll onto your side and pausing here. Enjoy this moment. Hopefully with a greater sense of ease and comfort and well-being. And then you can come up to sitting. And thinking about continuing the theme of the heart, we'll just do something very simple but quite nice, I think. So take the arms really wide, open up the palms, lift up the chest. You can even drop your head a little. And then we're going to give ourselves a hug. So take the left arm under the right, give yourself a hug, and really, really sense the body under the hands, back of the heart, front of the heart. Will come out, so just roll your arms, again opening up the chest, and now it's the right arm under the left, or the opposite arm. And then we'll just take the arms once again wide. Put it up again. Hopefully you've got a nicer, a more open feeling. On the heart, back of the heart, front of the heart. And we'll just finish with our hands, thumbs together, and we're going to nudge the thumb joint into this little cavity at the bottom of the breastbone. You'll feel there's a little dent. Just going to nudge in, stimulate that area. It's called the Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility. You can breathe in through that part of the body. Thanks so much, everyone. Very nice to see you all. Hope you're all okay, and have a lovely weekend. And I'll just finish the recording and then